making the wrong decisions.
And I'm thinking with the girls, you probably see more problems with it, like the dad wasn't involved in their lives. Well, again, imagine the boys too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Welcome to the spot where the mics are hot. Every word we drop got flow like a shot. Got stories to tell and jokes that hit hard. Come join the fun, it's a brand new yard. We bring the vibes, the beats won't stop. Tune in now, we rise to the top. Laugh, cry, shout, feel every drop. This podcast here is cream of the crop.
Okay. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode to the R to the J podcast. And today we have two special guests. Today we have Saria and Michael. And they're with the Not Without Hope services, right, guys?
Correct. Yes.
All right. Yes. So can you explain or tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
My name is Michael. I started this company out of the just out of the thought of I wanted to reach the young people, our community. I had ran some after school kids programs and. Really just had a heart for the young people and teenagers and things like that. So about myself, I'm almost 45, and
you're still young. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
I got a
I'm right behind you.
A beautiful daughter, and she's going into college now, and so about to get married and. Everything's great.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm very sure about that.
Okay, that's good.
Very lucky man.
Okay, that's good.
So everything's good. We've been in business for almost 3 years now, and it's been great. We've been able to really affect a lot of young people's lives.
So what did you used to do before this?
So I done a lot of things, but had to be skilled in a lot of areas. But I was a personal trainer, owned my own gym for about 18 years or more.
Okay.
Got 17 or plus certifications at one time. So trained Hall of Fame football, basketball players, everything. I done it all, and opened my own studio and was very successful in a lot of different areas.
Yeah,
it's not just
around this area as well too?
Yeah, so actually my first personal training little studio was actually off of Saba Lane. Little video, just a little place, and just a front door and a side door, and man, I was just a little. It was maybe twice, 3 times as big as your studio. So just and you've got a really nice setup.
Oh, appreciate it.
It's really nice. It's actually the nicest. So, but yeah, I had that and started there and. Just kind of developed it. Went to Liberty and opened up a bigger facility, and ended up, somehow gathering about $750,000 in equipment and had clientele, and but it got to the point where I was managing clubs. I was the #1 trainer in the country at every gym I went to. And
so if I need some advice for gym-wise, I should ask you, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You look pretty sharp, man. So I maybe take some advice from you. No, I'd kind of come to a road where I needed to make a change. And so I always loved to serve. So the next, and I've always had a desire to be in the action. So with that combination, I actually ended up pursuing law enforcement. So did that for about 5 years, and was actually a police officer here in Port Arthur for a while. And but God kept opening and closing doors, and life happened, and actually I ran across this ideal in this service, and I just started digging, and I dug and I learned, and I did everything I could to figure out was it possible that I could do what I've always wanted to do, and be able to do it with the flexibility of providing for myself, for my family, and so I just kept digging, and I invested. I had about $27,000 that I had saved up from a prior job, and I just took that and I invested it, and just started doing everything I could to get this started. And actually, when I got started, I actually had no money. So you talked a little bit about starting your own thing and the investment that it cost, and so again, nicest setup I've seen. So it takes a lot of effort, and so I did that, and so we're here, and we're in your studio, and just been bringing a really awesome team along with me. So, yeah.
How many team members do you guys have?
So, Siri, can you help me with that? How many? Count them on your finger, maybe.
Maybe like 15 or 20 now.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we.
It's pretty big, 15, 20.
Yeah, exactly,
for
man.
3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I don't want to be not skilled in is in recruiting, leadership and things like that, because I think it's important to grow. And I think it's hard to grow if you're just, if you're not paying attention to who you're hiring and how you go about those things. So, but we're very, we're successful, and it's really just a contributor to the team I have around me. So, yes, sir.
And how about a little about yourself? Born and raised, both of you born and raised in Southeast Texas?
I was born in Beaumont.
Okay.
And then my family moved to Austin for about 8 years, and so half and half. But yeah, born in Beaumont.
Okay.
Yeah, born in.
So I actually migrated here when I was 3 years old from Mexico.
Okay.
And for most of my life, I was illegal until the DACA Act came through.
Okay. That's like probably what?
I've had it for a
12
good
years?
6 years
6 years now?
only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So before that, I took a lot of like minimal paying jobs. A lot of the times I had to work 2 jobs in order to sustain a household.
Yeah.
But it's helped me a lot. Everywhere that I've been has contributed to who I am now and what I stand for, and how we help these kids.
Yeah.
Because, since we went through a lot, we have a lot to give to them.
Yeah.
And they have a lot to receive and a very bright future.
Yeah. And so just let the viewers know like what exactly your services exactly does, so let them.
That's a good question. We do a lot of different things. One of the things that we do is each situation, a child will come in and they will be dealing with either an emotional situation. Maybe they're dealing with without certain parents, brokenness in that type of situation. So maybe broken homes. They're living with their grandma, things like that. And so. Like I don't know about your childhood, but I know mine. I was, my mom was married 3 times, and we all know that she did her best, and every parent, I believe, tries to do their best, but a lot of times they get misguided. Sometimes they don't have help, and so that can flow over into the child, and then just general. A lot of children deal with peer pressure and things like that. So. To answer your question, we offer what we call skills training. So we provide coping skills to children. We help them decipher their emotions, help them understand their emotions. This really helps them deal with stresses and communication. A lot of the children will come in to us. They'll already have a diagnosis, and if not, we have staff for that, and if they qualify for services, they can give them to if they're a Medicaid recipient. We also accept self-pay, so we have a variety of service from psychosocial services to skills training to case management. So we do those particular deals, and through that, we're able to provide those services that help them kind of have a better handle their situations better, their emotions and stuff, because they can get depressed, and these children can make lifelong really decisions, and they do it based off their emotion. So a lot of times having someone, a peer, a provider that's can interact with you, can relate to you, like Siri. She has a story. She has a whole history of a life before she came, working with us. So she's able to use that even when she was a young girl, and I can use my story as when I was a young man, and so it allows the child and the adolescent to feel like an adult listening to them in some way. So we do not offer therapy, but it does sound like that. But it is a very small niche that is rapidly growing, and Siri can tell you a little bit more about what we offer too.
Yeah, we teach them to be like self-aware.
Yeah.
A lot of the times kids don't know how to express their feelings. So when they develop those strengths, or if they come in having a need to develop it. Once they develop it, they're aware, they're able to communicate, and it just makes communication with their parents or their peers or school so much better. Peer pressure is also something that's very heavy, particularly like in middle school kids. And we thought that it was something that we should raise awareness for, because the insecurities that come from it, instead of the confidence, can sometimes drive a kid to do certain it can drive them into behavioral issues that do affect them in the long run. Primarily, I work a lot with like young girls, ages like 5 to like 17, and we want them to know what a healthy boundary is. So, that when they are in a relationship, or, they know what the right type of love is from when they're younger to when they're older, because we don't want to see them in like have an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Or, getting themselves in trouble or making the wrong decisions.
And I'm thinking with the girls, you probably see more problems with it, like the dad wasn't involved in their lives. Well, again, imagine the boys too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's a very true statement. And a lot of it is, there's a emptiness, there's a void there, and teaching them how to, probably handle those situations in a more mature way, helping them understand that actually their feelings and what they're experiencing is very quite normal. Like when there is an absent person in their life, and that could be, from grandmas to father, mom. I mean, the nuclear family, we don't get into politics, and we don't do, we don't go into those areas with the child. We don't do religion and stuff. This is based off common sense and based off our training, and that's a lot of the skills training. So we have a treatment plan that helps the children. So we have people that will build a treatment plan designed specifically for that child, as well as is designed for their diagnosis, as well as child screeners and things that we have developed to answer questions, and it narrows the plan down to addressing the forefront issue and some core issues that they have. So a lot of times, children aren't behaving, and we teach them why they should behave. It's interesting that sometimes coming from a parent is not a good enough answer. But if that's reinforced by a coach or a teacher or a mentor or a pastor or something like that, it seems to take better. So we get a lot of results with that, so yeah.
And do you believe that probably social media, probably, and kids having the phones with them constantly probably have made it increase this issue?
Did you want to add to that, Zero?
We've actually seen kids that we believe might have been raised off of video games.
Oh yeah, because I could imagine, especially let's say if it's a single mom being home busy all the time, she just gives the kids the iPads now or the phone, and they're just kind of pretty much being brought up by those electronics devices.
And it's very dangerous, because a lot of what they see on there is what they want to bring to real life. So what is unrealistic, they bring it out in reality, and it can really affect them. So we do try to let them know, hey, this game is cool, but you have to have certain time on it. Take care of your business. It's homework. A lot of the times it's just talking to them. Kids are actually very willing to listen if you are playing a game with them, or
Yeah, and children adapt. That's the thing about children is they. I'm sure that. Sorry about that. I'm sure that unless you were in a home that maybe me and Saria were, and I don't know all her childhood, but we had to adapt. We had to make new friends. We had to change schools. I went to 27 different schools when I was a kid.
Way
Yeah.
more than
Been
I.
adapting my
Yeah.
whole life.
So I would move across Texas. I mean, and not know. I would go to school, and it was just life, and it is what my experience. But that's where our gifts derive from. That's where our heart can really touch some of these children. We have a job to do, and then there are people that are that can apply the gifts. So that I feel like that we put a team together that will really have an impact with the children, and so that's why I feel like we've been successful. So yeah, to answer your question, social media is a very powerful magnet, that can really get out of control. And so we, during our sessions, we don't allow them to play on their phones, and we utilize what their strengths are to help them feel accepted, but also feel like they can grow and they can be better individuals and successful in life. So yeah.
Do you think this when me and my son's mom got divorced or whatever, and he was maybe 4 or 5. I forgot how old he was. Okay. But one thing I did tell her, hey, I want to make sure that he gets into some sports.
Yeah.
To keep him occupied, busy. Because I told him, so that's one thing that I kind of regret never getting myself into business. Nobody ever pushed me or told me to try it out even as well,
Yeah, that's a great point. I moved so much I wasn't able to be in consistently in sports, but I think it helps, to really and Siri does sometimes groups and stuff. So it really helps them work together, with each other. It's good to understand how you handle being like losing, so sports can bring out a side of you that you didn't know, or a competitive side. Also it can show you where your self-esteem level is about yourself.
It'll humble you too.
Yes. And then that's where, and so we teach them how, you teach them what is humbleness, and what is boundaries, and what is respectfulness, and what is
fairness.
You said fairness, awareness, and then and just being self-aware, things like that. It's interesting how what we do, because it's some basic things that children don't they don't understand how simple it would be to get all their stuff together before school the day before, and so they're not stressed out, and which leads to arguments with their mom and their sibling, and you find where there's problems, and then you come up with solutions, and we help the children come up with their own solutions. And so but yeah, it's social media is a really tough thing, and what they're seeing and what the girls are seeing, they're
So also talking about social media,
Uh-huh.
do you believe the boys see women in a different aspect, they being over sexualized, and then also same thing with the girls, they need to dress up. So how some of the girls dress up, or women dress up on this Instagram, for example.
Right. Well, that's a great question, and I think that it's a very normal thing for adolescents and young teenagers to start as they grow and their hormones are changing. Those things are going to come about even more now than it was when I was a kid, and so and I had pressure to have the nicest clothes. It was never that sexual stuff. It was just I want to have the nice clothes. It means I have money. We're not poor. We were poor. So yeah, I would grow out clothes. So it was never about what it looked like. It was name brand. So it's funny now, if you look at kids, basically if your stuff doesn't match and it came from Goodwill, you're winning. So I'm man, I missed that.
Yeah.
We had to buy pants. I'm gonna say it, Jabos. How old are you?
Oh, Jabos.
Yeah.
Jinkos.
Jingles. Yeah, I don't remember Jingles.
You don't remember Jingles?
I just remember Guest and Jabos. So we're old.
Yeah. We're old school.
But it's a great question. I think that I can speak for the guys. I think it's a powerful situation that can escalate. And so, you know, what we offer is we can work with the kid and teach them proper boundaries, as Siri said before. And proper boundaries is how you speak to a woman.
Yeah.
Proper boundaries would be, how do you address them? How do you speak to them? How do you have a healthy relationship? And so we're able to help them about relationships and communication and stuff, and the value of a woman. And it's not the value of a woman; it's the value of people. So we teach them the importance of family, and how they should be respectful to their parents, even if they don't agree with them, or even a sibling or a peer. So, and if you have some foundational things, they already know. Kids are smart; they know what's right and wrong. So, but we are able to help, like maybe more define it for them and give them the space and the comfort to be able to open up about things that maybe they struggle with. So, and I don't know if Siri wants to say anything about the ladies and.
Well, a lot of the times we are definitely influenced by social media. It is very important for parents and, adults to teach girls about self-love, self-esteem, and self-confidence, because they're totally different things.
Mm-hmm. True.
So once you develop one, you start developing the others. And that's something that we really like to teach girls from an early age. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And I know we talked a little bit about the bridges. What's
Yeah,
that
so-
exactly about that?
So the bridges is, I am very proud to say that Siri, I gave her a task. I said, hey, I think that what I've noticed, and I don't know about you, but, a lot of these children, I actually just saw there was a fight at some middle school and a middle school kid died. I don't think it's here like close or whatever, but, that's one of thousands of fights and thousands of children leaving every day depressed on the school bus, at home, with no one to talk to, no one to communicate with, and they feel alone, not only in their feelings, but their aspect and what they're getting from their peers at school. I went to school. I saw every kid in school. I judged myself against every kid in school. We're all the same. We all, we all have insecurities. We all have things that we're not proud of and things that we're really proud of that we want people to notice. And when those things aren't being fed, it can be really tough on a young person. Maybe they're struggling in school, with peer pressure, but maybe they're struggling academically.
Mm-hmm.
And that can affect their emotions. That can affect their self-esteem. And so I put Siri on the task. I was like, hey, this is my vision. This is what I want to do. And then she just took it. And so we're trying to empower children, to actually have a better vision of what they want in life. I think a lot of times maybe kids don't know that they can achieve certain things. So, and so I think going back to the basics, helping them with social skills, learning how to make a friend, right, Siri? So, handle their emotions, coping skills, and just sometimes kids need to be involved in sports or an activity at school so they can understand they got a gift, but also they can communicate with other kids. Mm-hmm. And then just, I think, focusing on the children and the teachers, giving the teachers, another tool for someone to be able to come in and help with it. A lot of times when we're at schools, kids are acting up. And so tell them about being, how we've helped some of the schools around. We won't mention the schools or whatever, but we'll just,
So lately we started this initiative. It's been really eye-opening to us, actually, in developing it. There's a lot of peer pressure. I was amazed by, we did an icebreaker for kids, and one of the questions was, if someone was about to get extremely hurt, would you tell an adult? And the answer was, I would mind my business. And I was just so devastated by that response, because I'm like, wow, even adults would say an answer like that. And you know, if someone is about to get extremely hurt, we want that kid or that child to be safe. And if we teach these kids, you know, hey, go against the flow. Like, you don't always have to like justify fitting in. It's okay to stand out. Someone could potentially be saved, you know.
Well,
Another thing is like the confidence. We want kids to have that confidence and not have so many insecurities. There's a certain time where their bodies are changing. They're going through a lot. It's like Michael said, their hormones. And they start developing a lot of insecurities because the kids around them aren't always developing at the same time.
Or at the same pace, you know.
Yeah, and we want kids to develop that confidence, and we want to be able to help them develop it.
But understanding that all your confidence doesn't have to come from how you look, right?
Not at all.
I mean, I can see you're a workout guy, you know, and and so there's no doubt that you know, like every man, but also every woman, we see. So we want to feel better and look better and want to be healthy and all those things. But if that's if that's it, you know, how you know, what if you're sick and you can't work out, or what if you are struggling with your weight, or if you're too, you know, I was like super thin, I have no muscles. So, but you know, ultimately at the end of the day, like it's not even about shallow. There is no foundation there. Like there is no longevity, you know, to how you look and how that's going to play a role in your success in life. And if these young people do not learn to understand how to handle their emotions and their not only their emotions, but their vision of who they are, I think that they're subject to run into just some kind of thing that's going to, like, working out, doing drugs, drinking, like anything that they're great at. Kids they navigate to something that they're great at. Who doesn't want to be a winner every day, right? So if you work with a kid and you just listen, a lot of times you can find their skills, right, Saria? So you find like what they're good at, and then you use that as a tool to help them kind of build up their self-esteem again, maybe somewhere it's never been. So just finding out what are they good at, you know. I was great at working out, but I never had the size to, you know, but I mean, you know, but I could work out. I was a great trainer. But I didn't, I never wanted to be on stage, you know, but people were just big, like, your genetics, I mean, you should do, you know, and you should do steroids and all, you know, and I just never wanted to.
Same here. There's people that tell me that, you know, you're going to do this, get bigger. Like, I don't want to get like,
no.
I'd rather do it naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I get bigger, I can, but if I can't, I can't.
Yeah. So absolutely. We, you know, like I said, our center focus is to be able to help the kids be, you know, to make better decisions in life. I think that if they can start making better decisions right now, they're going to have a better chance at being successful in life.
Yeah, we definitely want them to reach their full potential.
Yeah.
Would you have to have like an example of somebody who maybe went through the program and then you see them like completing the program and then see how they have flourished?
Okay, Saria, do you want to take one?
I think you have the perfect person, though.
Who's that? I can't say.
The little redhead.
Redhead. Yeah, he may be redheaded or man, I'll put it this way. There are kids that I've worked with, that we worked with, that were getting kicked out of school all the time, like all the time. Into the alternative schools where you're there for behavior, to failing every single class, to completing to getting back into the regular school, to completing their classes and graduating. Again, we're like going into almost our third year, so you know, and some clients will be with us for a little bit. Some people, you know, it just depends on their family and what they can do. So if they move, man, the question of every single one of our clients, patients or whatever, they have to get results. We don't just get to work with them. it is vital that we get results, and so we hold ourselves and our team accountable. That's why we have treatment plans. That's why we keep a track of all that, because we're responsible actually to help them. So if we're not helping them, I can sit here and tell you, we have literally moved a client on to a trauma therapy, whatever it is that the client needs. Our job is to be able to help the parent and get them the resources they need. So every kid has had some success, some obviously more than others. Just like your podcast, you've had some views that probably were a lot on one, and then nothing on the next one. You're like, what am I doing? And sometimes it's not what we're doing. It's just situations, and maybe our job is to lead them to another resource. So it's a great question, and but yeah, I feel like we're always dealing with we're always trying to fix stuff, and then we're always hearing success stories. So I mean, I get it. I get text messages about it. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But
We
we
get
do
reviews.
have like remarkable kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yep.
That's good. Hey, where do you guys see yourself in the business? Like in 5 years, the business. How big do you guys want to grow?
So I'm as the owner, as the leader, and I think it's my job to paint that vision. I get told I've got that I have vision, I have leadership, but it's really just leading up front. So for me, I'm very much a part of every aspect of the business, and so I see it in the future being in multiple counties. Now we are in multiple counties, but right now we're at 5 offices.
Oh wow, it's pretty nice size.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's because I have center focused the entire thing based on systems and being able to hire quality people, people that have a heart for children. Because like anything else, you could want to do something all day, but not have the skill, not have the tools and the resources to do it. So, with that said, every single month and every single quarter, we literally grew. Last year, we grew 53%. So which is incredible. And we're continue growing. It's really interesting, but it's really normal. When you apply yourself, you cannot help but get results. Sometimes it's not great results, but yeah. So seeing our company, I think the ladies that I have hired in the team that I have, they want to see us very successful. So yeah, we'll probably have another 10 offices.
That's a lot right there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just located in Southeast Texas, like Beaumont, Port Arthur.
Yeah, I'm actually speaking with someone in Nacogdoches and near Lufkin area. So what we're going to be, we can provide this service anywhere in Texas. So so absolutely, man, we're gonna, that's a great question, because when you say, hey, where do you see yourself? I see myself not at the forefront and in the face of the company. Siri says I should be, but I literally see when somebody mentions Not Without Hope, they're like that company. They like changed my child's life. Like my child was depressed and on medication. So when that's where the impact I want. I'll never make enough. There's not enough.
Yeah.
Really, it's just the impact.
I could see where you're not just gonna want to stay in Texas. You might actually want to go out United State wise.
Well, yeah, we only provide a service that is that can be done. We can do self-pay, but because we're credentialed with Medicaid, and we accept multiple insurances, this helps. But it is a Texas provided service, so. Yes, we don't need to be that big, I mean, we can, but that's very vast and it takes a lot. And, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of responsibility. So, but Siri, is there an issue with my vision? Like, do you think I want to grow?
Not at all. Like,
Yeah,
I back
very
it up
driven.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the more the better. The
Yeah.
more people you get to help.
It gives
Yeah,
me a
absolutely.
lot of
Yeah,
drive and a lot
absolutely.
of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be great, man. We're great now, but we want to be even bigger. So,
Yeah.
and, so yeah, thanks for inviting us. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any last words for the viewers?
Well, I will say that first off, I appreciate you inviting us on. But as far as for the viewers, what I will say, and I'll look directly at the camera, and that is, if you're a parent out there and you feel alone, or you feel like you're struggling with your child's behavior, you feel like you're kind of at like a loss, you don't know what to do, and you know. Kid don't want to go to therapy, and maybe they don't want to take anything. They don't want to do their counseling. Like, we offer a unique service that will make a child feel like they're kind of hanging out and having fun. At the same time, we are strategic about how we apply our services and teaching a child respectfulness and how to obey and communicate and how to control their impulses and, understand about depression and things like that. And just taking responsibility for their actions. So if you're out there in the community, I'd appreciate if y'all would share this post, this feed, and just and just reach somebody. Maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's not even your initial family. So help support us by doing that. We're not asking for any money. We're not asking for anything. We just really just want to be able to help the community. So.
Mm-hmm. And you guys got a website or Facebook, anything like that?
We sure do. We have a QR code for all those things, and I believe you said that you would post that, so y'all can be looking for that.
Yeah, look under the description. It'll be on there all there, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And so our number is going to be 409 to the office, 409 651 7327. We have a multiple Lumberton offices at 565 North LHS, Lumberton, Texas, and it's actually, if you know where Lumberton CrossFit is, it's a really great gym. You can just kind of find it there too as well. And then we have a Beaumont office.
Yes, we have a Beaumont office located at 420 South Major Drive. Right in front of Amelia Elementary.
Mm-hmm. And we actually, it's actually a surprise. Siri doesn't know this, so we are actually in the works of getting another huge location off of Calder. So just keeping it right here. We're excited. There's some possibilities of a really big facility there. So. Yeah, and then, like I said, the QR codes will be there. We accept Texas Children Health Plan, as well as Community Health Choice and Superior Health Plan, and then of course self-pay. So on our website, you can do that. You can also click on book now, and you can upload your child. And if you Siri, you want to go just a real quick, yeah. So you'll get a Siri. She's our upload manager as well, and she does so many things. She is a absolute genius at a lot of things. So she kind of takes over some areas. So, but yeah, it's you can, and that's just a way to just get contact with us and just let us know. There's so many tests that have to be done just to make sure we can work with them if they are a Medicaid recipient. So.
And I want to touch on something important.
Mm-hmm.
We do speak Spanish.
Oh yeah,
yes, they're bilingual.
The parents need help or assistance.
Yes.
Yeah, especially here in Port Arthur. I know there's a large population of Hispanic people. I'm guessing it's in Beaumont as well too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, everywhere. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
So we can help you. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Spanish speaking people. If you guys need help, ayuda.
And I'd like to say that even no matter what, I understand cultures are different, but mental health we're all humans, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay, and it's not a shameful thing. I mean, I needed it, and we didn't get it as a kid. So, it just wasn't available like it is now with mental health. But I will say that it's perfectly fine, and we want the Hispanic community to feel comfortable, and they will at all times. So we're very diverse. We, in our staff, we have all ethnicities.
We have a great staff.
Oh yeah, we're great. Yeah,
There's not
wonderful.
one person that you would say I might not like.
From males to females, black, white,
Mexican.
All of it. It's really amazing, man. But it's just there's really not much to say about that because it's the vision I had, and it's coming, to fruition. So.
Did you ever thought it was gonna actually be like where you at right now when you first started?
You know, it's really, you don't know your decisions in life. Sometimes you think are bad, but sometimes it may not turn out the way you want it to. But it was actually a good thing. So I actually had my vision for the company continues to grow. It continues to develop in how I want to do it, because really I wanted to get the first client, and then I wanted to get the second, and then I just wanted to have an office, you know? So it's like interesting how, you know, but what happens is your talents start coming out when the responsibility shows up. And so as you grow, just like yourself, this place here looks amazing, but I know it didn't look like this when you first started.
It was missing a ceiling. It was missing half the drywall.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what happened? You started putting it together. You started investing money, and and then, you know, and then the responsibility comes. You start getting more popular, and so more people want to work with you, and they want to talk, you know, and so your vision for this place grows, whether it's in this building. But so I think you know, you're talking to someone that wasn't nobody necessarily thought I could. And it's a very scary thing when you know you can, because all you need is an opportunity. So you give someone that has a desire, and this is what I saw in Saria, is a desire to accomplish a certain goal, and I gave her those freedoms, and you know, I delegated it to her, and she's absolutely crushed sorry about that, and it absolutely crushed everything that I put in front of her. So it's really impressive. You know, so I'll put it this way: Saria's probably doing more and had more a part of our success than she thought she would.
Yeah, she even reached out to me.
Yeah, but here's the deal. But if I asked Saria, hey, did you see yourself? Saria probably didn't. She was just like, I want to contribute, and then it like, I want to lead, I want to grow, you see what I'm saying? So it kind of happened. So, you know, it's going to be funny when I sit across from you for 5 years from now, and you have 2 million followers.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know,
slow.
But did you see yourself there?
No.
You know, so yeah. But that's how. But if you just apply yourself, and that's what we teach with our kids, we just apply yourself, and we'll show you how to get there.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Michael, and Saria, I appreciate you guys coming. And you guys, if you guys need help or anything, you guys know who to get it from. Now without Hope Services. So I have all the things in the description, so you can follow them and get all the information. And also, if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sure it really helps this channel grow.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Breaking news or cool interviews, we keep it real, no scripted cues. From wild debates to heartfelt tales, strap in tight, this train never derails. We